Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, and I thank you for tuning in today. Well, first off, the Logan Power Show, we are a faith-based show. We believe that Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. We believe that we're a voice for the people. We believe that if you watch this show, your life will never be the same. I want you all to come on all different walks of life, different categories of life. Hey, if you're a pastor, this is a platform for you. Hey, if you're a business owner, this is a platform for you. Non-profit organization, this is the platform for you. Social injustice, we're here to make a difference. We want the community to understand the Logan Power Show. I want you right now, who listen to me right now, to go to our website right now, www.theloganpowershow.us. Nationwide, worldwide, hey family, we love you. We'll see you soon. Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, live here at New Beginning Kingdom Assembly International Ministries here in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Well, I got with me to my right, he is running for District 15. He's going to be challenging his incumbent. He is a fighter. He believes in making a difference. He's the one of Mr. J.A. Moore. What's going on, sir?
What's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So Mr. J.A. Moore's going for District 15. A couple other cities that we're going to be able to be tackling on today. So, sir, you've before you was running, you was always on the helping side. I remember you was helping regards to Clifford Smith when he was running for mayor. You were in his campaign, and so now you decided to get your face out to the front.
Yeah. So
District 15, why you want to run?
You know, for me, Calvin, first I want to thank you for inviting me today, and I am so impressed with your growth and in this program. It's a very phenomenal program, so I want to thank you, and I'm just excited and proud of the work that you've been doing. It's definitely public service work as well. For me, the reason why I'm running is I'm listening to the voices of the people in the district, school teachers and single moms and business owners and just everybody that live in the district, and the community deserves more. We all work very hard and fight for our kids and for our families, and we just deserve more, and we have to demand it. So for me, it's just a mandate that we have a fighter in Columbia making it happen. So I'm always reminded of the scripture, to whom much is given, much is required. And so that's kind of why I'm finding myself in front of you now, in front of the cameras, giving myself up to the people of the district.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for that information. You know, I know that we're dealing with Goose Creek. We're dealing with a couple areas that, one, we know that the population is growing.
That's right.
We know that everything is evolving when it comes to the Goose Creek area, like Mont's Corner. We got Google in the house.
Yeah.
That's definitely making a strong benefit. Jobs are being created a lot more than used to be. And now with that North Charleston close by, then we have, we have Boeing, but we're not getting the, as you would say, because things are not as growing as fast, we want that to come in place. You got Volvo that's coming by Jedburgh area, but I know it's not your district. But what will you try to do differently? Because you've heard the people, education is something that you do strive for. You and your wife just got married just recently, and definitely want to shout out to her. Shout out to Mrs. Moore, doing some great things, being married to my man here. So what we're going to do differently, because you've heard the people's voice. There's a need.
That's right.
So what can we do, like a couple things that you would say do differently than what's going on right now?
I think that's a great question, and definitely want to shout out to Victoria Ray Moore. I'm her husband. She is just a phenomenal woman. I am so blessed to have her in my life. For me, what I think that I'm going to do differently than our current representation is really be a voice and an advocate and a fighter for the people. It's not about party. It's not about me being self-serving. It's really going to be about listening to people's voice and letting their voice drive my agenda. And the agenda that I'm being driven to do is all about job training.
Got it.
And we talked about Boeing, we talked about Google, we talked about Volvo that's coming, and also Daimler or Mercedes-Benz bus. These companies are coming to the Lowcountry area, and we as a citizens that live here need to be ready for those jobs.
Sure.
There's studies that show that these big companies are coming into town and saying that 65,000 jobs that's going to be influx into the South Carolina economy. And they're saying that high school kids that are coming out of our high schools aren't ready for the jobs.
Got it.
So one of the things that I'm going to be advocating for and pushing for is to have more programs at Tried and Tack be free or at no cost to students that want to go to these jobs. We need higher skills people coming out of Triton. We want to offer programs at no cost or low cost for people. And then also I think another thing we need to be advocating for when you're talking about public-private partnerships, some of this stuff doesn't really require any legislation. It's just working with some of these private companies. We need to be recruiting starting in the middle schools and really even the elementary schools, because we want kids to grow up and say, I want to work for Volvo, I want to work for Boeing, I want to work for Nucor, and Daimler going down the line. But we need to start younger for kids to be thinking about these jobs, because I'm from rural South Carolina, and some of these jobs that are out there now, when I was a kid, I didn't know about them. So we need to be actively engaging with young people, getting them excited about all of the growth that is happening in the area. So yeah.
I got you. Now, for those listening right now, know what he's talking about. When it comes to job creation, job influx, and what he's mentioning to, a lot of times when in South Carolina through K through 5, you don't have those career days unless you're in certain schools. I know for me personally, there are some career days that the school that my kids was at, parents who work at certain places get to come. Mm-hmm. The child sees what it wants to be. So, oh yeah, I want to be that when I grow up. But what he's mentioning is they're having these type of career days, just like in colleges. Like if Volvo came to the elementary school and showed the kids, this is how you make a Volvo car. It's just simple, like coming some mm-hmm. Lego toys and say, hey man, this is something great you're gonna do. What it does, it gives a child, first it gives them the fiber to say, you know what, I'm thinking bigger outside mm-hmm. the box. I know what I want to do from elementary, middle school, high school. Some person like a J.A. Moore came to my school. He told me, hey, I work for Volvo, and now I've been doing this from elementary school. That's so now, right, yeah. So when I get to high school and I'm ready to graduate, I can say, well, you know what, maybe I don't want to go for the 4-year. Maybe I want to do the trade situation. Like give an example for Volvo, you got to get a certain type of degree. That particular job is being offered. It started in Orangeburg Technical College. Certain degree you got to get, and based off of the data analysis, you had to make sure that you had a certain degree, and you get it. You automatically $65,000 a year making these jobs. But the problem is that we're running into is that certain colleges are offering into it, but not all is doing. So what he's talking about, pretty much, I want you all to understand, is that if we start early, then we can create it here. We don't have to mm-hmm. outsource. That's right. We can get Triton Tech involved. That's right. Maybe College of Charleston, maybe Charleston Southern University. Some of these schools that are close that the kids can go far away. So that's great information that you're giving to us.
Yeah. And then not just so we're clear, not just a career day, but mentorship programs that last the kids' entire time in school. So it's one thing to have someone come in and get the kids thinking like that. The next step is to get kids actively involved in that. One of the things that I went to Johnson & Wells, and so it was a focused curriculum for me, and it worked out really well. And so but throughout my time, I've always tried to give back and go into schools and neighborhood and nonprofit organizations and mentor kids that say that for me, because I'm a chef by trade, that working in the restaurant industry isn't just a job, but it can be a career. And so having that same kind of focused energy with some of the Boeings and the Daimlers, that high-paying jobs. When we talk about affordable housing and we talk about public transportation and we talk about all of these issues, for me, it all starts with education. If we have a more educated citizenry, a lot of the challenges that we face as a community can be mitigated, but it starts in education. My mom is an educator. She ran a nonprofit organization for 25 years, and then did Montessori and then traditional teaching. So she has over 40 years of experience educating, and so I know firsthand the importance of education, the importance of teachers, and bus drivers and folks that work in the cafeterias and janitorial services, all to educate our kids. I think that's the catalyst. It starts, and for me, it starts there. It starts with our young people. It solves a lot of our issues that we're having.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. So based off of what you're telling me right now, would that require that the salaries for what a teacher gets paid per hour and what a bus driver gets paid per hour, like teachers mostly monthly, would that mean that we would need to focus on also increasing the pay salary? And the reason why I say that is because you mentioned your mother was a teacher.
Yeah. And
mother's teachers are also educators as well. Mm-hmm. I've taught also, and I know that for a teacher's base salary on what you make, you think you get paid once a month. Now, some of us, we get paid once a month. That can be detrimental because, I get paid on X, Y, and Z date. I mean, maybe my mortgage is due on the 15th. I don't get paid until the 30th. So I got to budget how it's going to be. So do you think that we need to increase you mentioned education being a big emphasis. Do you think we need to increase pay salaries for those people who are educating our kids to make it a better place?
I mean, I think absolutely. Recently, in the State House, they just passed, they did some amendments and passed, I think, 1% increase for educators. And, educators are getting motivated about that. We need to pay teachers more money and all educators more money. I'm going to be advocating, I'm going to be fighting for teachers. We recently, yesterday, actually met with a number of different education organization, Lowcountry area teachers take action was one of them, and that's one of the things that I'm going to be advocating, that we pay teachers more, a larger salary. They do so much, they do God's work. We're in the house of the Lord right now, and they really do God's work, and they need people in Columbia that are going to be fighting for them. And there's a lot of, the great thing about these organizations is that the fact that they are educated, they're collecting data to support some of the things that they're asking for and demanding. They're not just saying it like a pie in the sky. These educators are putting in a lot of time, a lot of effort into educating our kids, and it's so important. There's a lot of studies that show that within those first 5 years of teaching, you have a lot of drop-off of highly qualified teachers that are changing their profession because of salary disparity. We need competitive wages in South Carolina, especially here in the District 15, North Charleston, Goose Creek, Hanahan, and Moncks Corner, but all over the state. We need to pay our teachers more because they're doing so much for us. And so I'm gonna go to Columbia, and I'm starting now. I've been fighting for teachers a long time, and I'm gonna continue to fight for teachers. So I think, to answer your question simply, they have earned it, and they deserve it, and we have to fight for teachers increase in salary and also other benefits as well.
Got it. Absolutely. Yeah. And like that, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me right now. We always want to ask questions that's going to answer to what you got, why you want to vote for somebody. We're not biased to Logan Power Show. We go straight forward for our answers. Now, you mentioned public transportation. Yeah. We know that that's a big task to handle, because a lot of times people will say, you got a big vision.
Yeah.
But is the budget there to make that happen? And the reason why I'm saying, because with North Charleston, Moncks Corner, Hanahan, Goose Creek.
That's right.
If a person say, if I live in Moncks Corner and I want to take a public transportation system to North Charleston, first, the timing is so out of whack. It's not like, say, well, hey, bus is coming every 5, 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes it could be every 30, sometimes every hour. That's so right. If you got to work at an XYZ job, you have no type of car, how can we make that better, knowing that the budget is not as where it needs to be right now to make this happen for?
I think that's another good question. I'm on a committee right now with the Council of Governors with what they call is a bus rapid transit system, and what we're proposing is we're starting in Somerville, and it's going to go all the way down to downtown Charleston. And there we just passed, Charleston County just passed a couple years ago that half-cent sales tax, which is going to bring in about $600 million for this particular project. And then outside of that, there's some federal funds that we can get in state funding. I think there's funding that is available, but how you allocate the funds is what's the most important thing. But we collect enough revenue from the counties and from the state to focus on public transportation. Is this, what are your priorities? And I think it has to be a priority because we just have such a large amount of people moving to the area. And we also got to get out of the stigma that that public transportation is just for working class and poor people. It's for all of us. All of us benefit from it. And so if we look at it as from a regional standpoint, we look at it from that it is beneficial for all classes of people. I think those are some of the things that we can do. We have that kind of focus, because right now most of the bus system, the Carter bus system, these buses are over 20 years old. A lot of them are still from the Summer Olympics in Atlanta. That was 22 years ago. And so people don't know that information. And also, I think for a long time, the Carter board itself was made up of maybe political types and not people that had an expertise on transportation. That is changing. We have a gentleman by the name of Keith Benjamin who does transportation for the city of Charleston. He's on that board now. And so he's bringing expertise outside of the Charleston area to Charleston. And so I'm very, very excited to have him on the board. And I have to give a shout out to Mike Seekins, Councilman Seekins, who's the chairman of Carter now. He has already kind of changed the culture at Carter. And so, but it has to be something that we're focusing on, but we can do it. One of the things that I'm gonna be proposing once I get to Columbia is we gotta really be serious about making changes in our daily lives. And we, especially here in South Carolina, we get so afraid of taxes and rate, but we have to do things that are going to be beneficial for people, and that costs money. We can't run up deficits and that kind of thing. So one of the things that we're going to be looking at is increasing the gas tax over the next 10 years, 1 penny over the next 10 years. And the studies that show if we do that, when we talk about infrastructure, which is another key issue, we can afford to do that if we do this a penny. So a total of 10 cents over the next 10 years, we can fund infrastructure, which is the next part of public transportation. Because if we got these brand new, let me back up and come back.
Sure.
The bus rapid transit system. So think about light rail, but on wheels. So it's these really high tech transportation system that communicates with traffic lights. That way you get mainly green lights, and then also on the bus themselves, they're very high tech, have Wi-Fi capabilities, and in some cases they have like coffee dispensers and that kind of stuff to make it more of a pleasant ride. Because in order to solve public transportation, we got to talk about bus lanes, designated lanes, and that kind of stuff too. Because in order to solve it, if I'm on this nice bus, but I'm still stuck in traffic with everybody else, there's no incentive to ride the bus. So this bus rapid transit system is a very complex system that's worked in other parts of the country that we're trying to implement here in the Charleston area. And we have to do it right now, because I used to do real estate development, and the studies showed us like 55 people per day move into this area. To be designated a city, I think it's like 200,000 people. So then we're talking about in less than 10 years, you're going to have a whole another city that's going to be living here. We got to be prepared for that. And we really got to be prepared for that. We have to invest in that right now, because if we wait 10 years from now, it's going to be 10 years too late.
Yeah.
So we just got to be ready. We got to invest in public transportation, infrastructure, and our kids right now, and we just need bold leadership that's going to be willing to do that. And I'm going to be fighting. Man, I'm going to be fighting for all of us. But we got to do it right now. We don't have any time to wait. For me, this is bigger than me. This is for that next generation of folks, man. So yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. I'm passionate about it.
I'm passionate. I got you. Yeah. I see you. Well, he's telling the truth. For those who don't know, Charleston, 250,000 people live here. North Charleston, another 100,000. Goose Creek, roughly about another 100,000. Mounts Corner is like that 75. But they got a lot of home development structures in Mounts Corner that's about to develop in the next 5 to 10 years. That's already in place. That's going to bring us another 75, another 100,000 plus people. So pretty much technically in the next 5 to 10 years, you roughly will look at least about good 800,000 to 1 million people be living in these 4 to 5 different cities. So if you don't take care of it now, as bad as I-26 to 526, that we talk about these things, then we're going to run into what's called LA traffic. Yeah. So as you can see, like Los Angeles, California, I'm from there. I can tell you the LA traffic, even with the 405, the 5, the 10, the 1, with all those interstates, even when having 3.9 million people on a daily basis, people are still stuck in traffic. And they have one of the best public transportation systems out here. So imagine us not taking the foot forward now. Then you're thinking about a simple ride going from basic North Charleston to Charleston. Just take about 20, 25 minutes, can turn to 45 an hour. So you have to go to work and you thinking about, man, I gotta get here. You thinking about, I gotta leave a ton of hours early just to get to work on time. It causes a lot of frustration. So he's mentioning things that we have to get into a 21st century mindset.
That's right.
So our leaders will have to be on board. I'm not knocking any leader, but I'm just letting people know we better get to that point, because with tourism, what's going on in downtown Charleston, to what North Charleston is doing to Somerville, and don't forget about Mounts Corner. Mounts Corner is going to be the next Somerville in the next couple of years now, and people are going to move backwards instead of forwards. So I want you all to think and move forward. So he's giving me some great knowledge nuggets. So don't take my word for it. Google it.
Yeah.
If you want to see for yourself. And then you'll have the census. The census will tell you exactly what we got going on here. These numbers I don't fabricate. It's on our census. And look on census.org or .com and you'll find all that information. So right now, you got a tough task ahead of you.
Yeah.
How can people get in contact with you?
Oh yeah, man. I'm still getting used to using the social media stuff, but it's important. My website is jamore4FORSC.com. My email address is ja@jamore4sc.com. My Twitter is, I think, it's @JASC15. My Facebook is JAMore SC15. I'm still getting used to all the Facebook stuff. My phone number, I'm giving my phone number. My cell number is 843-693-0222. That's 843-693-0222. I'm serious about this issue, so y'all call me up, y'all text me, tweet me, and I'll tweet you back. But it's very important. And let me kind of piggyback on what you were saying. We need bold, new, fresh idea leadership, because North Charleston, the city of Charleston, Goose Creek, Mounts Corner, Hanahan, and all of these surrounding areas, we're growing. And we just need people to be thinking about it. We want to keep the charm and the small town feel of it. The livability is very important to me. We don't want to just not have smart development. Growth and development is good, but we got to do it smartly. We got to think about the people that currently live here first. We got to take care of home first. But growth is going to happen. There's nothing we can do to stop it, but we have to be smart about how we do it. And we need people that have integrity, that have backbones, that are going to stand up to developers and stand up to other interests, and that's going to have the interest of the people first. Because like I said, I worked for a developer, but I was very, very conscious of the people that lived in the area first, and so that's what it is, man. And you got to really think about your current representation, and does it really represent you? And I'm appealing to everybody. I want to appeal to Democrats and Republican, conservative and liberal people, women and men, gay and straight, everybody, black, white, Hispanic, Latinos. We have a big Filipino population in Goose Creek. We want to appeal to everybody. This divisive politics that we're dealing in now, I'm just going to be honest with you, be frank, is designed for us to not get ahead. We as a collective group of people, whether you're a woman or a man, a gay or straight, black or white, these boxes that they try to put us in is designed for us not to get things accomplished. And my whole mantra, my whole modus operandi, all of my life has been to work with everybody to get things done, and not to be worried about special interests or large corporations, but to be concerned about the people, about individual people. And if we as a group of people get together, no matter what your political associations are, no matter what your religious background is, if we as a group of people work together, we can see substantive change happen. Because to be honest with you, it's not most of these challenges that we have, there's simple solution. The complexity is so we don't get anything done and solved. The status quo wants things to be how they are. So I want everybody, as you approach November the 6th, to think about, we see all the growth that's happening in Goose Creek and Monk's Corner and North Charleston and Hanahan. Think about it, is you as an individual person, have you been growing? Have you been increasing? Your kids being educated better? Is the public transportation system better? Is infrastructure better? Is your daily life better? And if the answer is no, you got to think, why is that like that? Has the status quo been actually representing you? And for most of us, the answer is no. I'm not a politician. I'm a citizen of the community. I'm a resident. I live here. I work in the area. My wife and I, we have a little puppy. We take our puppy to the park in the area. My family comes and visits us all the time, and we have a small business, and we're business owners. In our lives, we have a really good life, but there's a lot of opportunities out there that we're not getting because the status quo doesn't want it that way. And we got to be fighting, y'all. This ain't going to be easy. I'm not taking this for granted. For whom much is given, much is required. We got to put in the work. My mom always talks about 80-hour work weeks. 80-hour work weeks, which is sometimes it sounds daunting, but you got to do 40 hours to pay the bills. And then the other 40 hours, you got to get back to the community. We got to work 40 hours. So I'm just asking everybody that can hear my voice, everybody in this room today, everybody in the camera out there, everybody that's going to look at this on Twitter and Facebook and some Snapchat and all of that, I need all of y'all to walk with me. Knock on doors with me, make phone calls with me. And if we do that, we're going to win in November. I think Jen Gibson walking in. I'm excited to be working with Jen soon, and Representative Pendarvis is in the building right now as well. We're going to win in November because we got some dynamic candidates. We're right on the message, but it's going to take all of us, each and every one of us, to work hard. So I'm just asking all of y'all to walk with me. Calvin, I hope you will walk with me, brother. And I hope everybody in the room will walk with me, because if we do that, we're going to win in November, y'all. That's all I got for you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, you just heard it right now. Here live at the Logan Power Show. Again, another candidate here at the Logan Power Show. We basically we're in faith with them. The Bible talks about write the vision and make it plain. So what I want people to understand is right now is that the vision that I see that what's going to happen in this next 5-10 years is that this area is going to totally change, totally phenomenally change. But you have to be on board. A lot of times I take a big mindset for where I came from and I bring it here. I believe the Logan Power Show is going to be a voice. I believe that what he's going to do is some great things. Now, once he's given the opportunity to be in office, then it's up to y'all to keep him accountable. The biggest thing that I've always told people right now, I put you out the information. You just heard a candidate right here. Look him up. He gave you the number. Contact him. My thing about it is, don't take my word for it. Listen to it for yourself. Listen to it on the replay. Hey, listen to it on our networks that we're on. We want to make a difference at the Logan Power Show. So trust me again, this is a time, it's a season, family, that we have to be active. You can't sit on the sideline anymore. Sideline days are over with. Families have taught us from the previous time, if you want to fight for voting rights, you got to fight for it. Have a fighting chance to do what you need to do. So I tell you right now, I'm going to get on the voting line. I'm going to make the right choice and decision. I'm not telling you who I'm voting for, but I tell you right now, I'm bringing the right candidates to go make a difference.
That's right.
But I tell you right now, family, get connected. Hold these people accountable. So all the time I got, my name is Calvin with the Logan Power Show. Nationwide, worldwide, we love y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Hey everybody, my name is your host, Calvin Logan with the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide. Well man, it's a blessing, it's an honor for you listening to me right now. The Logan Power Show, we are nationwide, worldwide. We are here to impact the community, make a difference for all those that are watching us. Always look us up at www.theloganpowershow.us. We're here to come into your household to make a difference in your lives. We're here to educate, we're here to uplift, we're here to make a difference in this entire community. This nation will know that to God be the glory. Jesus is the way, Jesus is the reason for the season. Today is the day to donate to us. www.theloganpowershow.us. I'm telling you right now, you sow a seed here, Bible promise return on your giving. We're here to make a difference. We appreciate all that you do. Going on YouTube, checking out the Logan Power Show. Hey, like us on Facebook at the Logan Power Show. We got our own supporterships page at the Logan Power Show supporters page. Call us today at 843-697-5545. Finally, again, email us at theloganpowershow@gmail.com. Well, I tell you right now, we're going to trust and we're going to lean on God. This show's going to make a difference. We're going to make it happen, family, and we do it together. We're going to make an impact in this nation and across the world. This is me, your host, Calvin Logan, nationwide, worldwide, the Logan Power Show. We love y'all.